Hello, my friends. Long time no see. How have you been? It's been a week, I think, just about. And I was setting sail to far-off lands. It was a nice time away. I'll regale you with tales from far-off lands in the real world. Over the course of today's stream, let me go ahead and welcome folks. Cinco Play, how are you? Congrats on the Arithmetician Redemption. Major Rage TV, as always, good to see you. Ahoy there, matey. Jojo Verdejo, or maybe it's Jojo Verdejo. How's it going? We are playing through every Super Nintendo RPG released officially in English, and we are on Uncharted Waters New Horizons. This is a sailing simulator RPG that is actually quite fantastic. It's pretty good. Big Joe, what do you know? How's it going? Back to the seas it is. Back to the old fickle seas here. I sent you a DM earlier today, Big Joe. Let you know that that I will be shipping out your prize, the giveaway prize to you. Now let's see. I have not played this in a week, so I really don't know where the heck I'm going. We can put it that way. We did just defeat Catalina's fleet. We challenged her to a duel. That took a while last time. I think we may be due for some repairs and some restocking of crew, though. So let's do that first. I think after that, we're going to sail down to Africa and pick up some gold and then sell that. Just lazy about responding. Appreciate the update. Oh, yeah, no worries. I wanted to give you an update because it'd been a whole week, you know. So, Jojo, you've been in here before, haven't you? I'm glad you're doing well. It doesn't say your first-time viewer, and I could have sworn I remember chit-chatting with you before. How was the week with a friend? Oh, it was so good. It was really a week about history. So I haven't seen my best friends for about 5 years since moving out here. And that was really great. So we went to NASA, got to see Mission Control, which was like a childhood dream come true. Really cool audiovisual display using archival footage and audio clips. I asked where they keep the aliens. The guide said in the underground tunnels below Mission Control, below the Houston NASA Space Center. So if you're curious, that's where they keep them. What am I doing here? Oh, yeah. We gotta get some crew. Oh, okay. Right on. And I've dialed back too, Jojo. I haven't been doing a whole lot recently. In the past couple months. So streaming is pretty much all I'm doing now. I'm on every weekday at 1 p.m. Central-ish. But just got back from the break. And Wesley Shantz, good to see ya. Mr. Thou, thanks very much for the warm welcome back. So yeah, NASA was really cool. I hope you two, Shantz and Thou, I hope you two are doing well. It was a really enjoyable time, for sure. We went to NASA, went to the Alamo. That was also a really cool experience. Phil Collins has like a personal artifact collection. I guess for Alamo artifacts. So that was kind of weird. You go to the museum there and they're like, "Hello, I'm Phil Collins, and today we're going to talk about the Alamo." And we're like, "Why? Why are you here?" But there's a big sign that's like, Phil Collins really likes the Alamo. And you're like, all right, I believe him. Okay, so we actually do. We have plenty of crew still, so I'm not going to worry about that. We're going to go ahead and empty everything. And then, so yeah, NASA, the Alamo, we went to a Game Preserve arcade, which had tons of pinball machines, tons of early 80s, arcade cabinets, even stuff from the late 70s, which was pretty rad to see. Very well maintained this time around. Previously, I'd been there. A lot of stuff was busted. Let me see if we've got anything here. I gotta remember how this menu system works. I don't think I'm carrying anything. Yeah, it looks like I'm not. So we're gonna Julian down here and see how far we can go. Houston keeps his aliens underground and at Home Depot. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. You made me read that aloud. I didn't even know what you were saying. Drifton, you're allowed to make that joke here. Well done. It was a good break. It was a really good break. It was really about history, though. That dawned on me after it was over. I was like, you know, we got to see history of space exploration. We got to see the history of Texas. We got to see the history of video games. We even went and did some retro hunting. Oh, October 1st, my anniversary. We did some retro hunting. There's a lot of retro stores in the area. I picked up a copy of UN Squadron, which I was really happy with. And I found Power Quest for Game Boy, which was on my list of RPG hybrids. So, Phil Collins, the singer. Yeah, strangely enough. And at the Alamo, they had Pee Wee Herman's bike on display, which I'm not going to lie was one of the coolest things to see there. You know, like you could see Sam Houston's sword and General Santa Anna's sword and a vest that might have been worn by Davy Crockett and his gun and stuff like that. You're like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then you turn the corner and there's Pee Wee Herman's bicycle. That was pretty neat. We got to make sure we do not get drowned here by the storms. Where else would you display Pee Wee's bike? Exactly, Deoxer. I mean, it might have been at like Warner Brothers Studio or something like that. I don't know if they ever had it on display anywhere else, but yeah, it was there. Let me catch up here on Chit Chat. I hope you're all doing well coming in. I really am glad that you're here. The water, they are Uncharted. Welcome back to the Madhouse Red. How are you, Sarge Smash? Thanks for being here. And yeah, like I was talking with you earlier, coming back to the internet after not being here for a long time. I dropped some tweets here and there, but largely I didn't do much. It was really nice and refreshing to just get away. And so I kind of want to adjust to that. I want to care less about what happens on the internet. Let me put it that way. I'd like to pop in, do my streams, write my books, share some thoughts, and then stop caring about things on the internet. That's what I'm going to go with. Most things lead back to history in the end. One of my favorite scenes in video gamedom from Metal Gear Solid 2. We watched the ending of it recently on YouTube, and I was struck by a line that Solid Snake said. This is not going to be verbatim. But he said something like, building the future and taking care of the past are one and the same thing. And I was like, that's true. Building the future and caring for the past are often one and the same thing. I think that's a brilliant line. That got me thinking quite a bit. We're still pretty good, I think. I'm going to load this bad boy up. There we go. But yeah, Phil Collins, the singer. On a work trip, ended up visiting a huge pinball place in Brunswick. Cool. 200 machines. Oh, they have the Pinball Palace. We were looking at that online. My kids actually fell in love with pinball. When we were talking about it, my friend and I, he hadn't played pinball in forever. But at first he was like, this is really weird. And eventually we were talking about how great it was to play something that has such haptics. It has such physical feedback to the input that you give to the game. It feels amazing. I mean, there's nothing like it. You can't simulate that. And then keeping them functional too, like what you're saying, Sarge. Keeping those things functional, I don't know how they do it. I really don't. Good old David Hayter. Let me tell my favorite David Hayter story. So, I've never met David Hayter. I like David Hayter quite a bit. There was a post that I made once upon a time that better not be Catalina. Oh no, okay, they're sailing away. There's a post that I made one time talking about how great Mega Man Legends was at expressive facial animations, and I compared it to oh my gosh. They wrecked my boats. What was I talking about? Mega Man Legends, expressive facial animations, and compared it to some of the more blank faces from the era, Metal Gear Solid 1, Lara Croft, that sort of, the Tomb Raider. I was like, it was much more expressive than these potato faces. And David Hayter actually responded to the thread, and he was like, potato faces? ? And I admit to reading that in his voice, in his snake voice. Potato faces? So now that's a thing my wife and I do every once in a while. Be a potato faces, because you gotta watch out for potato faces. Oh yeah, kids and I were on a Mega Man binge just before our vacation week. Played through Rockman 1 through 11 all over again, and I kind of showed them a couple clips from Mega Man Legends. And I was like, man, this looks great. It really does. The faces do. Pinball Wizard. You ought to put that on your resume. Mr. Thou, thanks for the 25 stream streak. My goodness. I've said this before. I'm surprised anybody watches this channel. So I appreciate that you're here today, sharing your thoughts and all that stuff with us. Now I am going to, this was no, it was not a storm, but I'm going to save here if I can. Can't get the, oh, there's the storm. No, there we go. Okay, now let me see if I can. Select button is really not working. There we go. Save the current game. Okay. Potatoes. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew. I would love to hear him say that. If I ever meet him in person, I'm gonna ask him to say potato faces. I've been with you since you joined Twitter, so you're here until the end. Well, no telling when the end is, obviously, but I appreciate that very much. No, you can't land there because it's not land. There we go. The west coast of Africa, ladies and gentlemen. Favorite machines that the game preserved: Twilight Zone, Addams Family, Elvira, Back to the Future. Now, have you been to the North Houston or the South Houston one? The one in Webster or the one in Woodlands, Krypton? The one in Woodlands, I hadn't been for about a year, and they added quite a bit more. We ought to hit that place up sometime. I've never been to the one south of Houston, but the one north of Houston, they had a Lord of the Rings machine, which, bread and butter right there. We're gonna, oh, well done. We're gonna bless the rains. Voice is still a little thrashed, but might be able to get the, I bless the rains down in Africa. Just use that head voice. Gonna take some time to do the things we never had. I just need a resupply here. So Someone want to go to Webster. Yeah. Yes. Yes. The Webster one is supposed to be larger, but I've never been there. So, and my kids adore it. I mean, they really, really love going there. Got to, I think it was my wife got to chit chat with the owner a little bit, and he was just like, you know, it's so wonderful to see parents bringing their kids in here, because, you know, the 30s and 40s something, yeah, like they remember arcades, but my kids are still pretty young, and they didn't grow up with arcades, so introducing just a bit of that to them, the owner was really happy to see it, you know, and I would be too. I mean, if I ran an arcade and little kids were in there enjoying themselves and interacting with, again, history, I think that's really cool. How's it going, Aegis? How are you? And James, welcome back. We are sailing the seven seas. I've already been wiped by the storms here on the west coast of Africa, so we're trying to be careful, but you know how it goes. So I hope you two are all right. Ultra distracted and bouncing off the walls. I didn't notice that from the high period, but you're all right. Everybody's fine here. I hope that works out for you. Let's see. This is roundabout where I died, I think, the last time. So we've made it a little further, and I'm gonna see if I can get all the way, I think, to Mozambique on the east side of Africa. They're gonna have gold to purchase, beautiful gold, and we will carry that all the way back up to Northern Europe, where I believe we can get the most bang for our buck, the most value. Oh, I was also looking for vagabonds. I was looking for captains that do not have current assignments or fleets or anything like that. So, may be able to get another captain, because I think right now I've got my bookkeeper sailing one of these ships, and that's not that great. Rusty, the owner, is a great guy. Oh, okay. I didn't know. I didn't see the DeLorean. I don't think I knew his name. I would really love to chat with him. I enjoy meeting owners of places. And what a cool place. It's a so for those of you that aren't aware, this is a game preserve arcade. They have a lot of old things. One of the things that they do is you can get an unlimited day pass. So like everything is set to free to play. Oh shoot. Ran out of food and water. Okay, I'm turning around. Right here at Cape Town. I should have stopped and I didn't. If we starve to death, it's not my fault. No, it is my fault. It's always the rule number one of sailing. It's always the captain's fault. There we go. Stop here. All right. Some people might have died, but that's we'll be fine. We'll be all right. Enrico's navigation went up. Just finished a movie today. My wife and I both work from home, so we're able to watch films during lunch. We just finished the remake of Rear Window, which I did not know existed. Rear Window being, of course, the... oh, yeah, we're out. The remake of the Hitchcock film, which I really enjoy the original. Now, the remake stars Christopher Reeve post-accident, which is... It's really interesting to see. Obviously, there's a lot more focus on, you know, him just dealing with now being a paralytic, with his spinal injury. Not as well directed as the Hitchcock original, but still definitely worth watching. If you enjoy sort of thrillers, not really mystery, but if you enjoy a little tension, it's good. And then watch the original if you've never seen... I don't mean to get like a rename port. That's kind of weird. I don't mean to get like you know, all like film student with you over here, but it's good. You should see it. Free with ads on YouTube. There you go, even better. We spent a lot of time driving this past week, obviously. Driving from my location to San Antonio took many hours to go see the Alamo, so we comforted ourselves talking about our best picks for best films from each director. That was a lot of fun. And then eventually we ran out of directors. So then we did best film starring certain actors and stuff like that. Gotta roll those R's. Rio window. There you go. I do like a good trill. I love a good trill. No, I just kidding. I don't know what that's called. If only Linguistic Dragon were here. Crew is paid. Okay. I was like, they better not run out of food right now. Dude, that guy's coming. How are we doing on crew? Actually, I don't know if they all died or not. Let me see. Let me see here. Oh yeah. Oh, the mono. They're almost wiped out. So next town we're gonna have to assign some folks. I could probably drop this down to 40. Let's see. Yeah, that's okay. And then let's bring this total up. I wonder if we could drop this to 30. Let's see. No. How about 35? No, it's got to be 40. We don't want that red, basically. That means that it's understaffed in whatever. I think that's a navigation category. So we're going to want, excuse me, 11 more dudes on this ship here. Okay. That explains why we're going a little slower as well. But I believe we're coming up on one of the African colonies here. How long was the car journey? Well, it was somewhere. I don't want to give away where I live exactly for some of the weirdos on there, online that may hear me. But this is Sofala. We'll stop here. But it was between 3 hours to 4.5 hours to give you a range, and that differed going forward and back depending on the intensity of traffic. So it was a long time to be in the car, and we did it in one day. So it was just over 8 hours of driving. We were at the Alamo for maybe 5 hours. We were there for a long time. You know, you go there, the Alamo's not huge. It really isn't. It's a small unfinished church that they later put a roof on. But there's a museum there. There's a bunch of artifacts to look at. There's people dressed in period costumes. So that was cool. I had really hoped that you'd walk up to them and they'd talk to you in, period language, but they didn't do that. So maybe they were just volunteers. But they looked cool. Let's see. So we're gonna recruit. We're gonna try and recruit 11 people. Let me just do this here. And oh yeah, they drink coconut water here, I think it is, or coconut milk. That's a laxative, so you gotta watch it. We'll do one more just to be on the safe side. There's gotta be. Let me try moving things around here. That had to be something weird. No. Let's do this. It is a long one. And James, I bet like if you drive 4 or 5 hours out there, you could get pretty far. Like how long does it take to drive across England? Some guy in a raccoon hat at the Alamo. Y'all can go to hell. Yeah. You know what? There was a gift shop and there was a shirt that said something like that. It was like, may y'all go to hell, but I'll go to Texas or something like that. And I was like, they take this Texas thing really seriously down here. Like very, very seriously. Let's see. Let's do, let's bump this up a bit here and so we'll see about that. There we go. That's okay. We're out of the red. That's all that we wanted. Good afternoon, Beamstock. How are you? I'm currently trading stories about real life. Had a vacation week. It was good. How have you been? One of the gift shop items was a Whataburger. A Waterburger. A Whataburger Alamo crossover merch, which I was like, now we've come full circle. We just need like a Buc-ee's. So my friend from California, he'd never been to Texas. We stopped maybe 3 times at Buc-ee's, and he had a 3-meat sandwich that was like sausage, brisket, and ribs on a sandwich. He was like, I think I need to move here. Buc-ee's, and that's what gets people to move here, really, is Buc-ee's. Almost single-handedly. Let's see. Let's load this bad boy up. I don't think we're going much further. Actually, I should have checked for gold here first. Whataburger is no longer Texas. I've heard that they're opening Whataburgers in other places, right? Oh, speaking of Whataburger, what game before here? It's easier to go north, south, and east, west in most of the UK. I imagine, right? It's pretty narrow. Are you from the UK? What game before? I don't know if I knew that. And I visited. I enjoyed the country. That's what Davy Crockett said when he was senator. Oh, really? Is this accurate, or you're joking? It was taken way too... It's very seriously. Yeah. The patriotism down here is intense. Congrats on the 15 stream streak, Aegis. That's a lot of streams. 3 meat sandwiches. Yeah, I would eat a 3 bean sandwich, but a 3 meat sandwich. So I had a brisket burrito from Buc-ee's. Oh my goodness. It might have been a $10 burrito, but still. That thing is good. Yeah, so you got your first Buc-ee's recently? Did you go? Did you get the beaver nuggets? You got a Whataburger near you in Georgia. Oh, there you go. Whataburger is like, it's not amazing. It's an upscaled Burger King is what a Whataburger is. Somebody somewhere was offended that I said that. But oh, you're from Wales. Okay. Oh, that's cool. I did not know that. I didn't have the chance to visit Wales. I really wanted to. I would love to go back and visit the UK. Beautiful country. I spent a lot of time up in York. Went to Ripon, Newcastle. Spent time in Kent. I thought Kent was gorgeous. I have an affinity for islands, I guess. 15 steamed steaks. Oh, I see it now. It's in italics, so for some reason my eye always glances past. Whenever Twitch gives me a notification like that, puts it in italics, and my eye can't see it. I don't know. Might be that astigmatism. Can't be that good. Oh, it's good. It's good. David Crockett wanted help with that. Congress said no, so he delivered the infamous line and went down to Texas. Oh, really? Okay. May y'all go to hell, but I'll go to Texas. I did not know that was a Davy Crockett line. What a bro. There was a tour guide at the Alamo that suggested Davy Crockett was America's first celebrity, who was not George Washington, who was not a president. And I was like, I don't know. Cause you text fonts. Cause you. Yeah, Wales. Yeah, a lot of castles. Plus my last name, Norton. It feels fitting. I did get to see some Norton coats of arms, insignias, and things like that when I visited. Okay, let's see. What do y'all got? Ivory is a local specialty. So they do sell gold. I'm going to fill up one of these on ivory and see here. But I will not pay the price that they're asking. I would like to pay 90. Okay, 103. 103. And let's load up on we'll fill up the mono. Okay. What's up, Baron? Yeah, I've been telling. Oh, there's all kinds of cool stuff. Went to NASA, went to a Game Preserve arcade, a retro arcade, went to the Alamo, went to the beach, went to Galveston, went retro hunting. It was wild. It was an insane week. For me, that was like the most I could physically handle. Like, I'm exhausted. I'm really wiped out. Friend flew home on Saturday night, so got to watch Stalker by Tarkovsky as well. I'd only seen Solaris previously, but big fan of Tarkovsky. Absolutely good for the soul, very much. I would recommend people get away from the internet more often. Northern Ireland. Oh, castles are awesome. Wales, you were there for a day? That's one more day than I'd been there. They should pipe this music at a grocery store. It is very, yeah, I'd compared it to like a Breath of Fire 4 fishing track. That's what it sounds like to me. Speaking of fishing, I just started the game Dredge. Anybody play Dredge before? I enjoyed it so far. I really like fishing games. Ahoy and Black Belt, how are ya? Come on aboard, my friend. How's everything going? Won't be able to sail for long. Well, oh, we got plenty of time. I just need to get up to the next spot. Your grandpa has an illegitimate family in Wales. Really? Wow. That's interesting. Grandpa gets around. Okay, this is Culamaine. I don't know how it's pronounced. Whataburger is still Texas. Money invested by a Chicago firm. Okay, so I mean it's headquartered in Texas, right? It's like Spam Musubi. Spam Musubi you can get outside of Hawaii, but Spam Musubi is Hawaiian. You know? Okay, let me check here. They might have good gold. Is the breakfast on a bun? I would buy breakfast on a bun. We found out a few years ago. Met them over. Oh, I'm glad they were nice people. That's interesting. How did you find out? I mean, you don't have to share too much personal information, but how do you find out about something like that? Okay, we're gonna go up to the next spot. This game is kind of the perfect game to chit chat to. I'm gonna say, this is a very relaxing game, as you can hear from this music. Yeah, let's pump a bit more in here. Let's see what this is. Mozambique. I think this is where they're gonna have the gold. So let's check it out. And they have got they do not have gold, so it must have been the next town up. I don't know. Oh, interesting. So I did the Ancestry.com thing too. There were things that I discovered about my family as well. Nothing like that. We'd kind of joked, like, oh, I wonder if Dad has like a second family, you know? But you actually did discover that, so that's pretty interesting. Oh, you know what? I guess we could just fill that up all the way because they're full. That ought to be good. We will be shoving off. Ancestry.com. I was a little nervous about sharing some information with them, but there were a lot of things I learned about my family that I did not know. Didn't know that my great-grandpa was from Madeira, Spain, so that was interesting. Let's try this town here. Mombasa. Oh, this one right here. a bunch of stuff with answers. A 23andMe I've never heard of. Don't trust them, and that's good. Trust no one. That's my. If anybody wants to know my politics, that's my politics. Basically, is trust no one. So like for mine, one thing that I didn't quite trust was I think that's more expensive than where I was previous. So maybe well, I don't know. It might have been 608 or 687. I don't quite remember. You know what I can do is I can go back and look. Just hop on the Twitchy Poo and see if I can scroll back. Oh, no, I think you could do it on YouTube. So let me pop that on here real quick. This is for research purposes, so not gaming the system or anything here. Oh yeah, what I was saying was, for me, they were like, oh, you're 5% Samoan. And I was like, from where? But it's like Samoan may be so close to Hawaiian that there was like an error in the DNA analysis. So I don't know. Hey, those walls ain't gonna bounce off themselves. Just let me give you a little focus since you apparently need it. What's everybody's thoughts on the Satan's Gold? Yeah, 666. Let me get everybody's thoughts on the supposed leaked Chrono Trigger remake project in development. So, I personally don't believe anything until I get an official announcement. I think leaks may be true, leaks maybe not. What might not be true. Is it gonna happen? If it does happen, what do you think? Yeah, I'm in the skeptical phase myself. So it sounds like most of chat is in doubt or thinks if it is true that it won't necessarily be a good time. I would obviously love to see something as authentic as possible. Yeah, let me see if I can find this here. Because if we're gonna talk about how great Chrono Trigger is, then obviously preserve Chrono Trigger. That's the main thing. So let me see here. This might be it. No. It wasn't Culamane. It was the town before that, I think. Oh, it was 692. There, I went back and saw it. So this is the cheapest gold. I don't know that we can find it, period, but it is affordable gold. So we're going to go here. Krypton's response. Yeah. Yeah. The rumors have existed for years. Sar Smash is right. The most recent thing is Yuji Horii was like, stop asking me about it. Which I thought was hilarious. I really wish they had done it before Toriyama passed away. It kind of seems unfair to do it without the complete dream team, My ideal Chrono Trigger would be, a really good, authentic remaster where you're taking the Super Nintendo UI and translation, and you're adding in the FMVs, the anime videos, and you're adding in some of the DS content. And that's it. I don't think you need to fix what ain't broke. Maybe Toriyama was blocking it. Oh, I wonder if he had the capacity to do that. Okay, so we're not going to pay that. That's a cursed amount right there. We're not going to pay that. We are going to pay $632. And we're going to load the heck up on this ship right here. That was almost all of our cash, which was probably not smart. Because I got to pay for food on the way back. But if worse comes to worse, I could sell something. Like, obviously, I don't want to sell that ivory, but we might have to. So that's just the way it goes. What would a 2D remaster look like? The ship sinks. Yeah, we loaded it up with gold. A lot of people that I'll run into will be like, why don't they remake Chrono Trigger and make it look like Dragon Quest? Or remake Chrono Trigger and make it look like Octopath Traveler? And my response is always, why don't they remake Chrono Trigger and make it look like Chrono Trigger? What is the point of remaking something that already has a strong visual identity just to look like a game that already exists? Like, I don't personally see the point in that at all. So you know, I hope that it isn't released. They're like, hey, we made it look like Trials of Mana. I don't think Trials of Mana looks bad, but I don't think Chrono Trigger has benefited just by looking at, you know, looking like you know, something that already exists. Oh yeah, those big old smooth sprites. You don't like sprite smoothing? You don't like sprite smoothing? Yeah, as close to original as possible, definitely. And let's extend that forward, you know, the conversation. So people will say things like, well, it doesn't destroy the original, you know, to remake the game. And it's like, yeah, that's actually absolutely true. The distinction isn't that, you know, the problem isn't that a remake destroys the original. Like, obviously, if they put out a Chrono Trigger remake, it's not like every Chrono Trigger cartridge in the world just kind of poofs out of existence. But the actual problem is that people will begin to judge Chrono Trigger based on the remake. If the remake is not good, that will absolutely color the legacy of Chrono Trigger. It's happened. I have met people who have decided not to play Final Fantasy VII because of 7 Remake. I've met people who have decided not to play or not to watch Cowboy Bebop because of the remake that they made, for the adaptation rather, that they made for Netflix. You only get one legacy. Yeah, you could remake a bunch of games a bunch of times, but you only get one legacy. You gotta remember that. We're gonna have real sprite smoothies. Ravaging Justice, how are ya? Shouldn't they be remaking bad games to make them good instead of remaking already good games? That is an excellent point. From a utilitarian perspective, I would love to see that. Unfortunately, they know that Chrono Trigger is popular, and they know that Final Fantasy VII is popular. Like, there's a reason why Final Fantasy VII keeps getting remakes and sequels and movies and things like that, and they're not, say, doing the same thing for you know, Final Fantasy II, right? Like, Final Fantasy II is not going to get a 7R remake because they're not sure it's going to sell, but they know 7 sells. And so from a business perspective, there's very much a reason why they keep remaking good games, rather than remaking games that they don't think are going to sell. I think there's a few exceptions, like Live Alive, for instance. Can't milk a cash cow that way. He's absolutely right. I could go for a Sprite smoothie right about now. Yeah, the new cutscenes, meme stock. The ones that they added in PS1. There's like 6 of them. It's not like incredible or anything, but it's enough. So I think I screwed myself over here because I can't sell anything at this location. And I am out of money, so I can't restock. So let me load water and see if I can make it to the next town. I doubt I can. I don't think that's going to be possible. But we'll find out when we get there. This was a rookie error. I didn't save. Yeah, it can't leave now. So I am... I guess I'm stuck here. So that's interesting. So you could actually... Oh, yeah, and I'm fully with you, Ravaging Justice. I get it. I don't like it either. They should adjust the remake's name a little so it's not 100%. Chrono Trigger. Yeah, don't call it Chrono Trigger Remake and then it's in like some kind of weird meta sequel. That would be weird. Remake Vagrant Story. That would be excellent. I would be 100% behind a Vagrant Story remake. Okay, I don't know if there's a way to leave here, but I did. I rename the port. Like that's not gonna help us at all. So, I can't leave. I can't resupply. We got no gold. I can't pay for that with the gold that we have. So I don't know. The port of Softlock. Bum, bum, bum. So I gotta go. I gotta reset. Now it's easy to be upset by things like that. A Chrono Trigger Rewind. Don't even give them ideas. Craft. That's such a Square Enix thing right there. I get Square Enix has its fans. I feel like these days there's a lot more people who don't like Square Enix than there were, say, even five years ago. Or maybe they're just more entrenched and they've blocked everybody, so you never meet them. Rehistory. I mean, I tend to think that they're gonna name the next FF7 Final Fantasy VII Regurgitate. I don't know. They might not go for it though. Okay, there we go. All right, let's get out of around here. Okay, hear me out. I'm hearing you out. I gotta love the port of Softlock. Gotta love it. I didn't though. That was my mistake. That's a rookie error. I'm gonna attempt to not do that again. We gotta make sure we have enough funds for food and water to get all the way back. So I got greedy. I'm not proud of it. But we'll try. Chrono Trigger Be Kind Rewind. Final Fantasy VII. Oh, really? Yeah, I could hear that. Yeah. Trigger and Cross remade in one full game. Oh, that's interesting. How do you account for uniformity, I guess? So like Chrono Cross and Chrono Trigger are very different. Obviously in a lot of ways. Gameplay, visuals, music, plot, characters. So how do you account for that in this thought experiment? If it's one game, do the graphics change halfway through? Or do you make Chrono Cross look like Chrono Trigger? Or do you make Trigger look like Cross? I don't know. That would be interesting. They 7 demake. They might get me with that. I would be interested in playing a demake. A full demake. Final 7, remember? Something bland? FF7? No. Don't be silly. Ain't nothing FF7 ever been bland. The one for NES, right? Oh, I don't think I'm gonna make it. Oh, made it. Really far from land there. That's stupid storms. The FF7 demake is for NES, and I think it's just Midgar in it. I don't know if it's the whole game. I would love that to be the whole game. Oh my gosh, the stupid storms. Yeah, maybe we'll get out of the remake era at some point and get into the demake era. That would be pretty interesting. Is there a Final Fantasy VII pinball machine? Chrono crossover. And now we're talking. This reminds me as a thought experiment. We were like, what if you had like a Smash Bros game? My friend goes, Texas versus Capcom. And I was like, okay, so, you know, you've got all the Capcom characters, but then who do you have for Texas? I guess you would have Davy Crockett. Maybe Ted Cruz is the Zodiac Killer. Maybe Oh, we're gonna have to stop at Cape Town. Maybe Bucky's for sure. The actual beaver himself, of course, not the store. Yeah, I would play that. I would. Final boss would be JFK, and if you get that joke, you're great. You're really great. Okay, we're out of water. It's a stretch. I always got to remember to stop here. Chrono Crusade, not related. Believe it or not, not related. Chrono Break. Chrono Break is a lie. There was never a Chrono Break. It's a beautiful dream. We call it that. Chrono Resurrection, beautiful dream, but like people would be like, "Oh, they should bring back Chrono Resurrection." I was like, "That was in the N64 game, you guys. That's how long ago that was." Okay, so there's a 7D make and an 8D make. Now that I was not aware about. I would absolutely play an 8D make. We had this discussion though. I don't want to get into that again. Throw down the fisticuffs. Okay, let's apply ourselves here. You know, you think you're carrying a lot of food, and then it turns out it's not that much at all, actually. It's really expensive to supply these boats. Really is. Okay. FF8? Yeah, I think FF8 needs a rewrite. It really does. There's stuff in there is like, you know, if you spent a little more time. If you spent a little more time on this, you could have a pretty strong script. There's a lot of jumping the shark in that. Yeah, I like sharks just as much as the next guy, but come on now. We have the Hungry Sailors. Hungry Sailor Syndrome. How are we looking on sailors here? Oh yeah, they're almost wiped out. So let me actually do this real quick because this worked the last time. We're gonna do this. And then we're gonna do this. And, well, I think if I move these guys around. How's this looking? Oh, that did not work at all. Okay, we'll get more guys at the next spot. Let me save here. That's my mistake, is you gotta remember to save frequently. Maybe the inverse will happen. Oh man, how did 7R treatment enter the common vernacular? I mean, I've met so many. I met people who were like, oh, you know, they should give the 7R treatment to every Final Fantasy. I'm just like, no. Imagine FF1 split into 3 parts for no reason. Just all the bloat possible in there. Oof. Sofala. Never finished 15? That's okay. Square Enix didn't either. Got him! Square Enix didn't finish it either. Oh, that's funny. This is a game where you'd need multiple save. I fully agree. Yeah. 2-hour movie, the heroes crossing the bridge, right? Grierg, how's it going? Called Stranger of Paradise. Yeah, that prequel. That went over well. How's it going? Oh, Grierg, first time chatter. Thanks for chiming in on our delightful Final Fantasy conversation. I appreciate you being here. Are we familiar with each other, or you've never been in here before? You're just like, what are they doing? Let's see. So this gold is actually fairly cheap. I might just stop here. I'm not paying that though. Okay, I'm going to be careful here. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to save first. Just in case I screw this the heck up. And then, you know what? I'm going to save and I'm going to stock up on food and water first. Then I'm going to stock up on the other stuff. That's what we'll do. First game entirely rescuing Princess Sarah, yeah. Or Sarah, I don't know. Okay. All right, let's do this properly. Okay, so y'all really don't need a whole lot on this first boat. We're going to stick with 20. And then the second boat, that's a lot there. This one, I would like them to have maybe like 50 a pop. So I might go with that there. And ideally, that'll work. That'll keep them nice and fed. And then there's plenty of space for other stuff. I do need to hire a few more sailors. So we're going to do that. Have I played the ROM hacks, Crimson Echoes, Flames of Eternity? I have not. I generally don't, and this is not out of principle or anything. I don't hate ROM hacks. I already have too many games that I already own that I've never played that are like official games. So I rarely play ROM hacks unless I need something like, you know, a fix or something like that. So I like the thought of those, but I've never played them. Okay, let's try recruiting some crew here. 56 men. Let's get 5. Just dump them in here. There we go. Okay, we're back over. With the hacks and mods, yeah, I mean, I say that, and then at the same time, I'm like, oh, I have all these games I've never played. Guess I'll play through Rockman 1 through 11 again, you know? Or I'll be like, I don't have the time to play this such and such new game. And then I'll spend another 500 hours on a playthrough of Stardew Valley. So, I don't know. Try a ROM hack of Chrono Trigger. We get burnt out after Might and Magic. That would be interesting. For sure, that would be. Let me see. Let me catch up here. As somebody who's played through Chrono Trigger a bunch of times, obviously I have a ton of curiosity to play Crimson Echoes and Flames of Eternity. I definitely do. I've also discovered this about myself. Maybe this is true for you as well. I forget to play digital games. I remember to play physical games because they're looking at me when I walk in the room. But if I own it digitally, I'll forget where it's stored or what system it's on, all of that. Can't remember that. Could be an interesting palate cleanser, you're right. Oh, Festivus? Now we're talking. The classic D&D games from Steam today. How far back does that go? We're talking like NES stuff? We got a Black Mage Redemption. I got you. Where I am with the ROM hack Chrono fans don't have this much interest. Yeah, like it's interesting as a novelty and a curiosity, for sure. Yeah, physical, yeah. It's just, yeah, it's just something that the brain does. I don't know. Okay, so let's see how much we can carry here. I'm going to get some gold. Not going to pay that much. I'm glad that we can pretty much always reliably haggle them down. It is a little curious, but, you know, 'tis what it is. Yeah, let's full up on that. Now gold. So this is gonna be a little weird here, right? So, wow, that bounced up. That really bounced up. Maybe I should have bought the gold first, then the ivory. I don't know. I can't min-max everything on this realistically. I can't. So let me try and get a save in here if my select button decides to work. And it's not working. But I did save right before I bought the ivory, so that's fine. Yeah, preferential thing. I'm with Smash too. Like I appreciate that fan fictions exist. I've written fan fiction myself. It's just hard for me to find time for it, I think. There we go. Can't sell that low. Yeah, 645. Heck yes. Okay, now we are gonna maybe I'll just buy 200 rather than the whole lot, because I don't want to go bankrupt here again. And then that'll save money for the return journey. So we'll be a little bit on the conservative side here. You know. There we go. Oh, no reason to be sorry or anything. It's a fun back and forth. Okay, sale for 13 days. So let's see if we can't get down to Cape Town. And I didn't have to go too far on this round. If we can get to Cape Town and restock, then I'll save there. And then once we're back, we'll sell the ivory, we'll sell the gold, and then I think I'll cross the Atlantic and we'll go to the New World and we'll explore and see what we can find. That should be a lot of fun. There are a ton of things to discover in the South Pacific, so we may go there eventually, but it's going to be a heck of a journey, I'll tell you that. There we go. Cape Town. And the port thereof. Okay, we'll restock. I mean, they're gonna use it, so maybe we'll just fully restock here. There we go. And then we'll go sailing. Sailing, sailing away. Or heart and soul and fix, and all I get is it's good. Well, some people, you'll find some people are not good at giving feedback. I think what you need to do, and here's a little unsolicited advice. You could throw in the trash if you want, because it's unsolicited. I know you didn't ask. Is find beta readers, like people who are definitely, going to read and give you feedback, and ask for specific kinds of feedback. Ask, what do you think about the character development? What do you think about the plotting? What do you think about the quality of the prose? Stuff like that. So people know. I think general people, friends, family, as I've had this happen to me too. When I published my first novella, I had some trusted friends and family read the book, and I was, so what did you think? And they're like, good. But I didn't really ask them for anything other than, do you think it's good? Or that's how they interpreted it in their brain. So I think asking for specific feedback and looking for people whose job it is, or whose role it is, if you like, is to give specific feedback. Maybe even seek out an editor or something. That can be exciting. Are you freaking kidding? You gotta be kidding me with this. Stupid weather, man. Darn weather. This vote. Oh, yeah. No, we're going to the New World. So I need to learn how to plant corn. Start raiding the cities. Yes. We're going to. Giving real functional feedback is a lot more challenging than people think until they're put in a position where someone needs a real answer. Absolutely. And most people are not accustomed to giving real feedback at all on a creative work. They'll walk out of a movie and be like, that was the best movie I've ever seen. And then next week they go see another movie and they'll be like, that was the best movie I've ever seen. So there's not a lot of range that some people have. Let me see here. Cargo. Do I still have all this? No. Yeah. Okay. So I gotta purchase this again. There we go. There we go. Who are you asking for specific feedback from? There might be an important question. Like AO3, that's pretty general, right? Like, are you asking it from beta readers? Or are you asking it just from, like, anybody who signs in to AO3? The FF crowd seems like they're very detail-oriented, so you probably, I would imagine you would get something from there. Yeah, getting an actual editor, definitely. Yeah, family and friends, you gotta kind of twist their arm, you know, to be like, what do you think? And like, too, I expect, like, when I had my friends read my novella, I expect that they're just going to give me a sense of whether they enjoyed it or not. But they're not going to give me a sense of whether they thought the themes are adequately communicated by the climax or anything like that, you know? Deoxer, that's a great question. A super good question that was really relevant to the first one. Less so to this one. You've got 6 characters. They each have a specific goal that kind of plays into one of the game's systems, right? So Catalina is a pirate. Her goal is piracy. Her goal is to seek revenge on a specific person. For this character, who we named Keone, real name Zhao, his goal is to find the secret of Atlantis. So he's an adventurer character. So right now we're making some money, or trying to, and failing. But really the goal is to make discoveries and things like that. Okay, I'm going to buy the gold first because it is significantly more expensive. I'm going to buy 200 because that's what I bought last time. 627. And the Manu will carry that. I'll buy 200. Okay, then I'm going to buy the ivory. Yeah, look at that significant price bump. I think we just asked for the ivory for free. I never just like, no. There you go, 110. Okay. And I think we can actually fully restock this. Yes. Okay. So now, make it to Cape Town and friggin' save. That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, commenters and reviewers. So like, commenters are really general, right? Like a commenter could be anybody. Could be somebody from this chat. Seeking out a beta reader is like you're looking for somebody whose specific role is to provide feedback. Try and find those folks. There's a couple places you could look. There was a Discord I was in. This is not helpful. This bit of information here. There was a Discord I was in years ago that was like a bunch of beta readers. And those are people who, you know, give feedback early on. And it'll be pointed feedback. You can give them advice. Or they can give you advice and stuff like that. But yeah, specificity and feedback is really crucial. So asking things like, again, what do you think about the character development? What do you think about any logic leaps? You know, does the in-universe logic work and stuff like that? I don't know how relevant that's going to be to fan fiction, because in that, you know, you'd expect that a lot of the in-universe logic is already worked out by the creators of the IP. Okay, we're here. Now it's time to save. If I can get this friggin' save feature to work. There we go. And let me restock. So there you go. That's an interesting thing. So you want to know specifically if the romance works or not. There's probably a range of possible questions in that alone. But yeah, I would seek out specific people on that. You might even find people who regularly read romance, who are accustomed to that genre, because they would ideally have more to say and more relevant criticism than just a random reader commenter. But that's what I would think. And look, you found one right here. This reminds me of the time you said you needed followers in my Discord, and people were like, okay, here you go. So asking ye shall, I guess, is the lesson. All you got to do is come into my space and ask what you need, and people will show up for you. It's a good part of this community. People show up and they help out. Major Rage is a good person for that, for sure. Krypton, take care of yourself. And have the rest of your day. Have the rest of your day. I allow you to have the rest of your day. Does anyone have piles of spare cash on hand? Are we talking in real life or in this game? In this game, yes. But not necessarily in... Oh, shoot. I'm kind of far from coast here. Hopefully I can make that. Nope. Just instantly. Instantly wrecked. That sucks right there. That sucks. Grumpy sounds. Well, yeah, no, speaking of asking in established spaces, you could try looking into Discords. While Discord may be going the way of the dinosaur, but you could be looking for pocket groups that are full of people who are trained to give feedback on written work, and who may be interested in providing thoughts on those things. That'll ideally be where you'll get the best feedback. But I think the more general the reader, and the more general the questions put to them, the more general feedback you'll get. But if somebody tells you they like it, that's something. That's not nothing. At least they don't say I hated it and then left it at that. That would be more worse than previous. Okay, this actually didn't take that long to get to the other side of Africa. It's just really a matter of not sinking your ship. But I don't want to sink my ship because that would be bad. We're going to try landing in Luanda. Yeah, it is bad. It is bad. And then with the one save system makes it rougher too. You don't want to put yourself in a situation... Yeah, the reset button gonna work out. You don't want to put yourself in a situation where you can soft lock. We've already seen that could happen, right? Like imagine if I'd saved the game at Cape Town, but I didn't have enough money to resupply, and then what? There's only one save. I'd have to reset my whole campaign. That would be devastating for sure. So we don't want to do that. Right. So yeah, that would be not a helpful comment at all. And those exist. I just published a 555-page history book, and some of the feedback was absolutely as worthless as that. I'm trying to think of like what was the most worthless piece of feedback that I read. There was a lot. Oh, one guy was like, your book is the worst thing I've ever read. So obviously, like at that level of hyperbole, there's not really a whole lot of use for that. Like you can't, that's the opposite of constructive criticism. There's nothing you can do with that. Thank you for the rest of my day. You gotta love Krypton's sense of humor. Is it storming again? Friggin' west coast of Africa, you guys. Oh my goodness. It's impressive in so many. Number of books read 3. And I know that was based entirely on screenshots of the book. So it's like, this is not somebody who's read the book. This is somebody who has seen a handful of very cherry-picked screenshots from a book that are completely out of order, and also provided, oh my gosh, with their own commentary. You know, obviously hard to go through, but in retrospect, you got to let that stuff roll off your back, because that's where it's like there's absolutely no basis. And then I kind of leaned into it. Like my ex bio says, most controversial author of 2025. What else are you going to do other than lean into it? Speaking of leaning into it, this storm. This is like world's longest storm right here. What the heck? Just days and days and days. Like, you could starve to death just anchored outside of this friggin' town. Is this a glitch or what? Like, I'm gonna have to dock here. There you go. It stopped. Okay. There we go. My goodness. Awful. Well, I didn't want to lift my anchor and risk wrecking the ship, because what had happened is every time I'd reset, the storm would hit, and before I could move one tile, the ship sank. But we made it in. That's all that matters. Whew. That was brutal. I mean, just savage. The RNG on this can be real cruel. Okay, so I am going to just go ahead and stock it all. Stock it all. And let's get the heck out of here. After this, I'm gonna save. As soon as it saves, and it's like, storm hit, you're sunk. Yeah, look at that. Freaking tragic. Awful people. We didn't even make it to the next port, and it was like 10 miles away. Blah, blah, blah. You know what we should do then is we should try to repair the ship. So maybe it's that. Let's see if I can make it back to the previous port. Might not be able to. Otherwise, I'll kind of preemptively try to anchor and see if that'll help. So let's pull in right here. Oh my gosh. Get me into the friggin' harbor. Yeah, look at that. I'm gonna go straight for land. I mean, why are there so many storms? I know my thighs. You ought to see my thighs. They look like Schwarzenegger's in his youth. No, it's Schwarzenegger in his 70s. Getting wrecked, literally. Yeah, absolutely. Totally the same thing. I don't know why there's so many storms, but holy smokes. I'm not coming down this way to the east side of Africa again. Not going to happen. Okay. Need to get right here and just hold up for a minute. Oh, now it's not. Oh, there it is. Okay. I was like, that storm better hit. Stupid. Yeah, land in San Jorge. Robo Nan, how's it going? A lot of the animals you can discover in the game have been extinct from 1500s to modern times. We found the dodo, yeah. But Mokole Mbembe was still around. What a legend. Oh yeah, we're gonna be right here. There we go. Oh yeah, I know what you meant. I have not found the auk yet. I was looking for the saber tooth, but alas. Could not find it. Okay, let's try repairing here. I bet you that was it. I mean, these things, this is in need of some serious repair. That one especially. Okay. Beautiful. And let's save here. Okay, and then we should be good to go for a while yet. Would be nice if the game had... Oh my lord. What is with the storms? Would be nice if the game had some kind of notification for, hey, your ship's got a lot of holes in it. RoboNan, how have you been? I think it'd been a while since we chit-chatted. I was off all last week. But we had a good time. It was good. And it's nice to be back. It's nice to be back talking with you folks and playing Uncharted Waters New Horizons. Can't say it's nice to be back on social media, though. That's been my thing. All day today and yesterday is just like, why am I still doing this? Why get on social media? I mean, it's a disaster almost every time. I don't know. It's the endorphins from getting popularity points. That's what I'm going to say it is. I can't think of it any other reason other than that. To be on social media. It's like you say something and people hit like and you're just like, oh, I feel good about myself. All right, water break while we're enduring this storm again. Now, I don't know if I'll be able to make it across the Atlantic. Well, we'll take a shot at it. Get me the heck away from Africa. Gonna take some time to anchor and endure the storm. And the storm hits. Storms all the way. Oh, yes. Earth must have been flat. When was Galileo around? I mean, when did they figure that out? Actually, I don't know. Did they still predominantly think the world was flat in the 1520s? Again. Friggin' again. This is taking forever. Mostly because of storms. It's almost Christmas. There's no storms on Christmas. And remember, there'll be no sad faces on Christmas. Alright, let me go already. Just let me go. Oh, man. I think this is the most storms I've ever endured. I wonder what, like, triggered this. Something in the game was like, I need to sink that, bro. It's all the cursed gold that we bought. That's what it was. Alright, here we go. Oh, still. Friggin' bullcrap, that's what it is. That's so stupid. I hate you, piano, I hate you. Mono-wrecked again. Again. We're gonna have to stop at every single town. The common folk, yeah. The common folk are still like, what's reading? That is the Koei curse. But yeah, I figure at this point where they're like, they've got established trade routes and stuff like that around the globe, that they're probably like, it's probably flat. No, just kidding. It's probably round. I don't know. At least that's what I think. See, Sarge Smash knows what's up. That is the Koei curse. Strikes again. All about that Koei curse, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, children of the jury, we have found that there are so many places in which there are storms. So this cost a fortune to make this journey, mostly because these guys eat so much. So we're just gonna be real careful. I was going pretty good. I earned the right to crash out right there. You ever play a game and you're like, I earned the right to rage quit? You know, like you put up with some stuff. Like sometimes games will ask you to put up with some serious nonsense. This is a perfect example of that. Abidjan. Perfect example. Okay. So I'm gonna check repairs again. Ugh. I would love to see how the code works on this for triggering all this friggin' stuff, like just draining my funds. My funds! That's so much damage. So much damage. Okay. Let's have a little sleepy poo here, and then I'll kind of throw off the rhythm or something. I don't know. Yeah, and all I sailed was between those two towns that were like right next to each other. So I've already dumped like 2,000 gold into the mono to repair it. That's ridiculous. Oh yeah, for sure. Like there's some serious West Coast Africa stuff. It was like this in the first game, but this is dialed up to 11. I mean, I'm barely able to make it anywhere without there being another storm hitting. Oh, see, now we're getting a good distance. Don't jinx it. Oh, I jinxed it. No. Oh my gosh, I just need to get around here. It is winter, so it could be a winter, or it's about to be winter. Could be that. It's rough. We came down here in the spring. There were a lot of storms, but I feel like it wasn't at this level. No. I mean, I did get wrecked by storms in the first game quite a bit. Now, I am curious about what repairs are going to look like here. Because again, we've already dumped a ton of money into the mono. So, I don't know. Find out. Nap time. Okay. All right, not as significant of damage, but good to stay on top of it. It's definitely more damage than the others, though. I think that one was the Zebek that I bought. All right, so that's repairs. Could it be also dependent on how heavily laden the ship is? That feels like that might be a thing. Let me save here. Oh, you know what I should check first? No. There we go. Gold. Where should I sell gold? I wish I had a reliable bookkeeper. I forgot my bookkeeper is a captain of a ship. I thought I purchased a figurehead for each of these. When I got them, I might have had to reset for any number of reasons. Oh, look at our fleet. Looks awesome, though. Yeah, so that's got a dragon figurehead. The Manu. The Mana has a dragon figurehead. And then the Mono has no figurehead. So let me purchase one. I think I should be able to do it right now. And that could help. So we had 2 figureheads. The magic of the figureheads was not working out so well. I don't remember which one. Yeah, I think it was Manu. Yeah. Oh, no. This one's got a dragon. Mano. There we go. Oh, yeah, because the Mano was the ship that I got from Catalina's fleet. There we go. Commodore 64. Oh, yeah. Best system of all time. Okay. There we go. So, I don't know. Maybe that'll help. Let me take a look at the bar. See if we can't get somebody to help us figure this out. Yeah, C64 was slick. Oldest, or first, earliest system that I can remember playing on. What was the earliest system that you can remember playing on? Open question for just about anybody. I don't need crew. Well, maybe I do. I don't know. Let me check this. No, we're good. We're good on crew. See if this guy's helpful here. Oh, he's a vagabond sailor. Yeah, they wouldn't join because I didn't have a high enough ranking. First played NES. NES is a great starting one. I really think so. Oh, yeah. NES is a beautiful starter. 2600, I feel like that would be a rough starter. The first system was technically a Pong clone. Oh, there we go. And we attack the Death Star as the Millennium Falcon. And that could be any number of like 100 different Star Wars games. I saw a really cool vector Star Wars game when I was at the place. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, he doesn't want to. No. Okay. So there's not a whole lot I can do about that. Tis what it is. Yeah, there were a couple 80s Star Wars games, weren't there? There can't be just one Star Wars 80s. I know there was TIE Fighter. This wasn't that. This was just called Star Wars. But vector art for sure is beautiful. First game you ever played? Oh, I don't remember that for sure. It would have been like some kind of edutainment or choose your own adventure thing, something like that. The first one was sit in arcade cabinets. Oh, okay, so this one was a standalone. It wasn't a sit down one. It didn't have like a built-in bench or chamber or anything like that. Oh, Miss Pac-Man is classic, beautiful. Game Boy, also a great early one. Let's see. Let's find out if we can't get the heck out of here. Yeah, I often say that, I started with Commodore 64, but it was NES that really got me to fall in love with video games. So Storm, good times were had by all. So far, that figurehead not carrying its weight. That's the way it goes. Jojo, hey, thanks for the lurk. I appreciate you very much. And thanks for hanging out with us as well. Anytime you're in the neighborhood, feel free to stop and say hi and share some thoughts with us. First game I remember playing, I don't know. I couldn't say. My dad had one of those early computers that had like an awning over the screen, so it blocked light reflections, I guess. Nah, I don't think I need to stop here. So let's see, ivory. Maybe I'll try and sell. I think I'll go all the way up to north, to the north, to like the British Isles or something like that. We could save here. I'm out of Africa there. We did it. Whew. Destiny of an Emperor as a first game? How the heck did you play Destiny of an Emperor as a first game? Like, out of curiosity, I mean literally, like, how did you play it? Were you older, or... Because I can't imagine... Like, my first video games that were, like, you know, was age 4 or something like that. And I can't imagine playing Destiny of an Emperor at age 4. Yeah, let's try stopping here and seeing what we got. Oh, and this is where our dude with the contract is too, so I don't think I have anything to turn into him, but we could double check. Finally made it out of Africa though. Haven't discovered anything. Okay. Wow. Yeah, that is really young. Age 3, so you were able to read Destiny of an Emperor at age 3? Big Brother Ninja teaching you would definitely be helpful, I think. You want a ninja to think it was cool? That's a beautiful brother moment right there. Watching earlier siblings. I see. So I was the oldest sibling, so definitely a different experience there. I can remember playing games that young, but I don't think any of them were RPGs. I don't really know what RPGs were on Commodore 64 anyway. But yeah, definitely edutainment or like a choose your own adventure visual novel or something like that, you know. Early adventure game. Okay, so let me see now. I guess we'll start looking at value here. It's great to start reading at a young age. My eldest started reading at a very young age. Youngest struggled a bit more, but he had other aptitudes. You find kids are all different, you know. Let's see. Okay, so the ivory that we bought at 112 goes for 287 here. That's pretty good. And then, oh man, we bought that gold around 600, and here it's worth about 1,056. So that's both of those are great returns on investment. I'm going to save here, and then we'll go on to a couple more places and see if we can't find better prices than that. You know what? I should jot those down just so I can do a quick comparison. 7-inch black and white. That's the way back then, right there. Okay, let me jot these down. Take some notes. Like a man. No, wow. This is the way to do it right here. Okay, so this is in Bordeaux. And we've got ivory at 287. And then gold here is 1056. Okay. We probably find something better than that. The old disconnected controller routine. How's it going? They're strong as mole. My dad never did that to me. Dad played a lot of PC games, so it wouldn't have worked anyway. It hands me like a keyboard. You're doing great. Let's see. I think the jank Capcom 90s PS1 era localization. English grammar and spelling a lot worse than other kids. Yeah. I could totally see that in the case. Those are good memories. You gotta hang on to that stuff. Okay, let's hoolie on to the next space. We'll go up. I really wish I had that bookkeeper. Oh, yeah, we're out. Yeah, everybody's parents are going to be different too. My dad wasn't a gamer. He just would play a PC game every now and then. My friend's dad was a gamer. That was interesting. But I don't know that they even had that delineation back then either, you know? They were just nerds. That's about it. We were heavily limited. I hated them, but appreciate now. For sure. Absolutely. There's a lot of things that my parents did back then that I did not appreciate. But now that I am a parent, I get it. So one thing was, we were talking to somebody on socials about I shared an article that I wrote on Zelda and religious censorship, which is a whole can of worms in and of itself, obviously. Let me get the prices here real quick. There's $2.92, and then I'll tell that little anecdote. I missed the name of this town, actually. So if anybody remembers the name of this settlement. And here they're selling for $2.56 or $10.56, so just about the same as the previous. Anyway, my parents did not let me play Castlevania in particular. Probably Dracula's leering, bloody face on the cover that did it. Somebody responded with, how could they not know essentially that, the content of Castlevania is, super Christian, quote unquote, and that you're fighting vampires, you're using iconography and that sort of thing. It's not like you're playing as a vampire until you get to like Symphony of the Night. But I responded, I was like, well, how were my parents supposed to know that though? Was my dad supposed to, go to the library to try and learn about Castlevania just because his son is interested in it vaguely when there's other games to be played? It's not like he could just pull a phone out of his pocket and look it up, real quick. It was just a different time for sure. So I get that. Because there's things now where my kids are like, hey, I'm interested in this. And I may or may not know anything about it. And I may or may not have the time to put in research to know if it's appropriate for them or not. This is $2.84. So that's actually the worst one so far. And then this is $10.78. Which I might just go with. I don't know. Dracula's Curse. Yeah, exactly. That's true. There's a downside. Difficult today with the myriad of options. Fewer options back then, but less capacity to do the research easily. I remember, you remember that cartoon? I think it was Skeleton Warriors. Dad also wouldn't let me watch that. He didn't know anything about it other than that it was called Skeleton Warriors. There was probably no way for him to realistically learn about what it was about other than watch it himself. And back then, with the way programming was, it was probably on when that dude was working. So there was just no way to do the research. Okay, let's check another town. There you go. Yeah, if your parent had the capacity and time to research it themselves back then, before recommending it or allowing it to their child, that's pretty impressive. I mean, because that's dedication. Definitely dedication. Okay, let's see here. This is $2.92. I'm not gonna do this all day, so I might just take the $2.92. And this is $10.78, which again is about as high as it's gonna get, I think. So why don't I do this? I'm gonna take the $10.78. Oh yeah. And then this is $2.84, so it dropped down. So I'm going to maybe I could hang on to the ivory, until we get to the new world. There may be a good place to sell the ivory off there. I could do that, since I don't have a dang bookkeeper. No, you know what? I'm going to advance the story. Because I know I got to get to, I believe they wanted me to go back to Lisbon. Somebody's going to remember. I feel like Ravaging Justice would remember exactly what it is that I need to do next. I think it's going back to Lisbon. And there's going to be like, you know, a bad guy waiting for you. And he's like, oh, let's duel. And then I'll spend the next hour dueling him. It'll be something like that. Stop at Nantes. Imagine your dog could shoot lightning bolts and everybody had one. We want to know whose was best. Yeah, like you tell your parents, imagine cockfighting but with magic chickens. That's basically Pokemon. Da-da-da-da-da-da, Pokemon. But yeah, I get it that parents aren't gonna get things. That's a weird experience now being a parent. I don't know if all you folks have kids or not. I think Baron, you mentioned you don't. You got the nieces and nephews thing. When I have kids, and when they got to an age to where they started to like something that I didn't get, that's a weird experience. They like watching Minecraft streamers. There is nothing I would rather not do more than watch Minecraft streamers. I can't do it. I can't get into it. I don't get it. And I like Minecraft, but that in particular is not great to watch. Okay, we got money. It really was not that much money, and we burned through a lot of money just repairing ships and crap like that. So yeah, not great. I feel like that definitely should have been worth more money than it was, but it was not. I will not bless the rains down in Africa. I will continue to say that was a bit not worth doing. All right. We're going to sail off. I'm such a boomer. Okay. Okay, boomer Kawanger. Watching some guys stream SNES RPGs. I know, and I've said it. I don't know why anybody who comes in here and watches this. But yeah, for you folks, I get like most people in here around my age. You know, you remember some of these games you don't. There's that nostalgia factor. But for me, I don't have childhood nostalgia for Minecraft, you know. And the thing with Minecraft too is they're doing like role play and stuff like that. I'm like, I got no problem with the role play, like as a principle, but I don't understand the screaming. I don't. So and that'll be true for every generation of parent, you know. Eventually you're gonna not get what it is. The next thing is next Adventure of Fame plot trigger is 23,500. Wow, that is super specific. Yeah, I want to say they did Major Rage. I mean, I could go back to the start of the stream and like look at how much money I had. But I don't think it was not the same amount. Like I think that let me see if I can get a peek at how much money I had toward the start of the stream. Oh yeah, so at the start of the stream I had 17 gold bars. Now I have 22. So again, it's not a huge amount. It is more at least. So there's that. Yeah, the older sibling thing. I mean, that's how I was with my brother. So I definitely get it. Okay. Now, as far as the next adventure trigger, once I beat Catalina, they did give me a trigger. I'm remembering back a week ago, so it's a little hazy. But I remember them being like, oh, you know, such and such thing is happening, and you need to go there. So I don't remember exactly where, but we're going to snoop around, see if we can't figure it out. I do have a journal, too, so maybe I could look at that. This is gonna go way back. No, they're not gonna mention it here. Okay. So that doesn't help. Let's go talk to dear old dad. Maybe. See if he lets me in the house. Master Keone, welcome home. That girl Lucia from the cafe has been abducted by someone. Oh, that's right. That's right. That's what it was. And we were like, Catalina, curse you. And then somebody was like, oh, that's not a thing that Catalina already did, you know? So yeah, we're remembering that Lucia was kidnapped. Go talk to Carlotta. Hit that trigger already, go to the pub in Lisbon. There it is. Yeah, that's what we just learned. But we did it from snooping around, and I'm proud of myself a little bit. Just a little bit proud of myself, like 1.1%. Okay, let's learn. Keone, thank you so much for coming back. I met some trader named Ollie. What was it? Was what he said about Lucia true? Yes, for the most part. We're not completely sure who the abductors are, but the night Lucia was taken, there was only one ship that left the harbor, and it belonged to that lady pirate. Looks like she's the culprit after all. I can't think of anyone else that would do it. Rocco, I don't think it's a good idea to decide without any proof. I mean, okay. Well, that's true, but you could say it was most likely. But either way, we've got to find Catalina anyway. She holds the key. Plus, we've got to find that girl Safa for Ali. Righto, Captain. Alright, so now we need to find Catalina. Let's see if we can't learn something somewhere. Oh, lots of dudes here. Vel, how's it going? Vel Raptured, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Long time no see. Let's see if any of these... No, these are battle fleets. Oh, well, maybe gossip could help. Let's see if they know anything. There aren't really any capable sailors in Algiers. Well, that's not very nice. Diego, sail with the battle fleet from Portugal. Navigator called Sanchez was looking for a job in Barcelona. Barcelona, New Mexico? That's so far away. Garcia. Sail with the battle fleet. Do you like this port's tea? That's not gossip. Duarte. I like that name. Navigator called Sanchez looking for a job in Barcelona. Alright, we'll go down to Barcelona and see what we can find. I don't really have any other good leads right now. I'm glad you're doing well. How's things been for you over this past week? I'm just now getting back into New Horizons. Welcome home, Master Keone. Don't overdo it out there. The sea can be a dangerous place, you know. Oh, that's it. Okay. Best friend of the times Dad made shut off Street Fighter anime movie. Oh, drove us to return it, right? I said hell a couple times. Oh, it wasn't because of the nude scene? Or which Street Fighter movie were we talking about? Might not have been the shower sequence. Yeah, sometimes... You know, it's hard not being aware of everything as a parent. I think that's the takeaway from it. But yeah, I think back then it would be especially hard to know what was in a movie. Today I could just look something up, but yeah, back then that'd be tricky. I don't think I'm going to make it all the way to the new world today. We might have to save that for tomorrow. But I really would like to get more done today than just having sailed to Africa and made a bit of cash. Well, we'll go down to Barcelona. Also, too, you find that different parents have different levels of what they deem as appropriate, you know? So this is Seville. I actually don't remember where Barcelona is because I'm American. So we're going to... there's a way to do it. I can't remember. No... This menu always confuses me. Option port. Am I going the wrong way? There it is. Oh yeah, we're nearby. Okay, I don't remember how to do the auto sailing thing. Oh, maybe it's because there's two different. There it is. Oh, but my whole team is all jacked up because all this captain rearranging nonsense. There it is, Barcelona. I bet the food is really good. Yeah, I forgot that until he spoke, and then I was like, oh yeah. So I need to get some other dudes. Let's see if this navigator wants to join at all. Feel like our generation kids are still closer to our childhoods than our own parents. Every dad grew up with barely any electricity, let alone computers and internet. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I think both my parents grew up on a farm. And I imagine mid-20th century Hawaii is significantly different than what my childhood was like in the 90s. Let's see. Have you seen a female pirate named Catalina recently? Oh, that woman whose eyes burn with a fiery hate for some Portuguese man. No, I haven't heard anything about her recently. Well then, do you know anything about a girl named Safa? Sorry, I've never heard of her. Oh well, we'll just have to try somewhere else then. Well, that's not very helpful. How am I supposed to know where they would be? I don't know. I just have to play it up like that. Village people may be able to help you. Okay, Letitia. Man, shut down. Okay. Let's see about this dude. Bernardo. Vagabond sailor. Let's see if we can hire him here. Nope. Oh, wow. So yeah, I have no idea what to do. We will have to figure that out tomorrow. I think that I could still sail for the new world. Or we could go around looking for other things, but a lot of this is going to be tough. It's going to be harder to do trading without my handy bookkeeper friend. Whoops, I don't want to do cheese here. Rock salt is a local specialty. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. I know it means a lot to me. They're strong as well when my kids are like that. Like I showed them Willow and they loved it. And I'm like, oh, cool, because I love it. But it probably did mean a lot for our parents too. It's nice to have that sense of understanding, you know, of your parents when you get older. Well, anyway, my friends, I couldn't really figure out much of Uncharted Waters New Horizons today, but that's the way that it goes sometimes. And I'd been away from it for a week, so I wasn't exactly expecting, you know, to come back and be awesome at this game again. But it took pretty much the whole stream just to do the bits of sailing all the way down to to Africa. So, you know, let's I don't really know these people too well. Okay, we're gonna hang out there. Excuses. You know, I don't want my magic lie dormant. Oh yeah. Yeah, if you step away too much, then yeah, that's risky. Well, thanks. It's good to be back, Baron. You all have a great afternoon too. It was a delight talking with you. Be on tomorrow, 1 p.m. Central. We will play more Uncharted Waters New Horizons. Ideally, figure out where Catalina is and where Safa is. Maybe sail to the New World and do some adventuring. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out when the time comes. But until then, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.